Welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why everything's playing out the way that it is. And also how you're contributing to the undesirable life experiences and how you can break karmic cycles that keep you stuck in a place of limitation and disempowerment. Now, if you don't understand, just follow along and you will, because I do look at everything. All right. Also know, um, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to be open to getting a shadow reading, have to be open to getting it done live. And you also have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. And it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Important when we are looking at people that wear masks and create personas. Now, before I jump in, I just wanted to mention that you have until the 10th to sign up for my shadow healing coaching program. It's really transformational coaching program because you're not just learning about inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, but psychic development and life coaching to help you along on your life's path. So if you're someone that doesn't know what your soul's path is, again, we cover that in this coaching program. You only have like 4 days left to sign up. And the reason why is because I'm taking a limited amount of people. It's not going to have a lot because I want to be able to give each and every person that's taking the program their individualized time to actually heal. Healing doesn't take long in my opinion. You can recondition your body and mind within like 2 to 3 months if you're doing consistent work, if you are diving deep, and that's really what it is. It's not just about the healing, the shadow work. The shadow work prepares you to go out into the world. So, and then be able to recognize when you are attracting someone that is unstable. Someone that's unstable is going to be a serial cheater. That's an example of someone unstable, or someone that's very codependent. You'll notice the signs. And in that, you'll be able to avoid karmic cycles, like I said, that keep you stuck in a place of disempowerment. Any situation that makes you compromise yourself, and sometimes we voluntarily do that. And so you don't want to do that because what you want today is not what you want tomorrow. Even if you are someone that says, well, I'd like to be a little bit more codependent, we change. That's the problem with codependency. There's no room for individuality because once a person changes, well, then there's a triggering of of the whole dynamic. Both parties get triggered and it winds up turning into a trauma bond many times. This is why can't be with someone that's on a low vibration. If you were on a low vibration and then you healed yourself, you're not going to get along with that person anymore unless they evolve. So recognizing a toxic relationship is imperative, especially if you keep going through these types of situations and attracting the same types of people that emotionally can't give, that are avoidant. Like I said, you want to sign up for this coaching program. All right. Needed to say that because, like I said, only 4 days left. Link is in the description box. All right. Let's see what that word of the video is. And don't forget to, if you forget it, that word is also going to be in the description box. Impatient, impatient. Well, I feel like for the majority of this connection, you have been impatient with this person because they have a big ego. You know that they're holding back from you deliberately. You know that they have problems with forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, being vulnerable. And so I feel like I said, this person didn't treat you well. And really, there was a time that you really thought that they were going to come back and apologize. And I feel like you waited for this person and, you kind of just gave up. And now I feel like now your person's in a place where they're like thinking to themselves, well, I guess you're not coming back. See, this person was waiting for you. You were waiting for them. I feel like you're like, why would they be waiting for me? Why would I go and even talk to them after treating me the way that they did? It's like, well, understand this person has never really apologized to anybody, number one. And number two, I feel like this person, when things played out, they got triggered by something that you said and didn't really hear what was said. And now they're reflecting on what was said and the actual experience that went down, and they're seeing it from a different perception. So they're now know that they were the ones that were wrong. And I feel like that's why all of a sudden time is the essence, like where this person's realized a lot of time has gone by. They thought you were all like throwing a temper tantrum, so they were deliberately holding back. They believe that this person was treating you the way that they've treated other connections, because the other people that they've dated acted like spoiled little brats, people that, would throw temper tantrums to get what they wanted and were emotionally manipulative to this person. And this is why your person has a very difficult time, like being emotionally vulnerable. So they're in a place of waiting for you to come back, but now they're realizing that a lot of time has gone by, and so they're becoming very imbalanced. The word isn't impatient, but they're getting very imbalanced, disequilibrium, and they are because their mind is stuck in a loop of, again, mind chatter. So if you're wondering whether this person had feelings for you, it's like, understand they do. They just weren't going to show you their feelings until they understood exactly. This person plays it very, very, very safe. They wanted to know exactly who they were dealing with. They wanted to know whether or not if you were someone that was going to emotionally try and manipulate them, they weren't going to stay in the connection with you at all. If you were going to be demanding and throw a temper tantrum, and I actually feel like this person did things literally to press every single button, hoping that you would react so that they could say, well, see, you're crazy. This is why I have to walk away. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. So this person is almost like seeing that how they reacted was not, but like was uncalled for. It was not really what happened. That is what happens when we're in a connection with people that are toxic. Even if we grew up in an environment where people were very controlling and toxic, and when I say toxic, I mean emotionally manipulative, gaslighting to get what they want, acting really nice, but then also passive aggressive, never really, never really being able to have a conversation or communicate, but psychically attacking, emotionally attacking. So this person has gone through connections like that before. So there was a sense that they just didn't want to, like I say, be trapped in a connection. So in it, it was like they were almost like testing you. And I know that sounds crazy, but it was like they don't realize that the focus is on the fact that of picking up someone crazy, because they're like focusing on, I want to make sure you're not crazy, but the universe doesn't understand not or is, because the focus is just on crazy. So this person almost makes people crazy by what they normally do. So again, it fulfills the self-fulfilling prophecy. You didn't do that. I feel like you just was like, I'm not dealing with this, and you like walked away. And this is why this person's impatient, because they're like, by now you should have came back. It was an argument. It was an argument. So like, why didn't you talk to me about it? But they don't understand. It's like they want to see vulnerability from you, but they have a wall up where they're not going to let show you any vulnerability. So again, almost like you felt like you had to jump through hoops constantly to like put this person's mind at ease, out of sync. Like it's like they just felt like, you know, you felt like you couldn't keep up with this person's mood changes, like they were constantly changing due to their emotions, almost trying to make you prove. And, they needed to really take time out and really to like really get grounded in what they want, clear in what they want, and they just set boundaries. They're trying to almost manipulate you into being someone that is going to be safe for them. So it's just the relationship wasn't a smooth relationship. And it's because this person feels like inadequate within inside of themselves. So imagine them trying to be in a relationship, feeling all inadequate, but wanting love, but being afraid of being controlled and being manipulated. So this person, like I said, gets crazy because they are letting their emotions dictate the situation, but they're not emotionally intelligent. And it's again because they suppress their emotions. They didn't show you any emotions. You know, showing emotions shows vulnerability. You have to let somebody in when in vulnerability. Yeah, so it's like they wouldn't let the relationship grow. And you were like, I feel like we're always in this, like the relationship never gets off the ground. They're never like I can feel that they have feelings for me. And I realized that they wouldn't like, why would they even come back? Why would they even do this? It's almost like you got to the point of the saying, are you playing a game with me? But it doesn't feel like a game. It really feels like you have feelings for me because they do have feelings for you. But there's a sense that this person needed for you to chase them and not chase them because, like, to feed their ego. I mean, though it is feeding their ego, but almost to make them feel secure. They don't feel secure in themselves. And that's because I believe that this person is never healed from certain traumas. And so when we don't heal from certain traumas, we take on that trauma. We wear it like a coat. It becomes part of our identity, and that's not your identity. So that's why this person feels inadequate. And they, again, wasted a lot of time. They procrastinated. They knew that they should have came back to you, but they, again, didn't want to be vulnerable, didn't want to lay all their cards out on the table. They didn't want to be in the weaker end, when really they were the ones that reacted to something that you didn't even say, something that they heard distorted. So it could have been something as simple as, do you want to go for dinner? And this person's like, don't tell me that we're going to go to dinner. Like, don't tell me what to do. You're trying to control me. And where you weren't, it was actually a very nice gesture. This person isn't used to people being nice to them. So again, them wasting time, that is their ego. They again procrastinating, hoping that you'll come back. They know damn well that you're not going to be the one that comes back because of, again, the way that they reacted. Really, it's their job to come back. Again, where they'll like blame fate, like being like, well, like I couldn't get to you because I had other obligations. Like there's part of this person that has procrastinated so long, allowed so much time to go by because they didn't want to seem vulnerable. that there is a sense of like gonna just say, well, maybe it's just fate if we're not going to be together. Like again, looking for a way out of the connection, or trying to talk themselves out of the connection, where really it's again, we make our own fate. It's like there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what you do. This person's coming from a very low vibrational frequency where they need outside validation. And in that, you will always be giving to this person. It would feel very draining. You didn't pick up the signs and the hints that this person was laying. You just thought that they were playing games, but really that they were trying to manipulate you. And that's the irony. They're so afraid of being manipulated, but they're going to manipulate you into acting the way that they need to for you to react in order for them to feel secure when they don't feel secure in themselves. So they would actually be like a bottomless pit, like somebody that would become very codependent. And so when you're like dealing with this person, it's like they acted like they didn't care. So you called their bluff. And once you called their bluff, again, it was, first of all, it was very satisfying for you because this person was continuously like playing it safe, like they didn't really care, like they could take you or leave you, again, in hopes that you would try to reassure them. They were giving you a lot of mixed messages. And so, where again, finicky, like you didn't know whether they cared or they didn't care, whether they were genuine or whether they weren't. But this person never expected you to detach from them because you and this person had a connection for a long time. So they never saw you detaching from them. And that long time could be anywhere from like a year to 5 years, even like 6 months if this person really hasn't dated that many people. This person thought that it was a considerable amount of time that they were pretty comfortable, reassured that you weren't going to leave. Again, and where you're like, you give more attention, you don't know what you want. This is the energy. It's like you called their bluff because you were like, you don't really know what you want. You're still attached to a past person. It's again, and then there's a sense that I know that you're giving that person a lot more than you've given me because you don't even get to know me. So the emotional bond that you still have towards your ex, though you don't want to be with that ex, but there's an obligation, there's a loyalty, and in that, you feel like there's an emotional connection that this person has with that past person, which you're like, and you're not giving me. So it's like you're compartmentalizing. It's like, so what? You're keeping me around because you're attracted to me, because you want a physical connection with me, but that's what you felt. You were like, you're compartmentalizing because there's still someone from your past. Now, this person, like I said, doesn't want to be in a connection, is what I feel like. In a real relationship is what I mean, like a monogamous relationship, one that they need to be held accountable for. They wanted you to chase them and then they were going to figure it out. But what I see with this person is that they're still connected to someone from the past, but they don't really want to live with that person either. They don't want to be monogamous. However, that person knows how to push the buttons, knows how to push the buttons because, well, didn't give them the intimacy either. However, they have the loyalty because loyalty is something that happens over time. And it's how long you put up with the person. And I believe that past person put up with the person for a really long time until they just couldn't take it anymore. And that was a long time. So there's still like this connection that's not really even a connection. It's just, again, something that's taking up space, and where you feel like it's just another excuse why I'm not getting what I need from you. It's like, because you always have excuses of why emotionally you don't show up for me. Illusions, again, creating illusions and hiding behind illusions to the point that you felt like you were in an illusion of a connection. It's like, what is going on? What is going on with this connection? I don't really feel safe in the connection. I don't feel secure in the connection. However, you want to create the illusion like I am, like because of the sweet talking, and because again, there's chemistry. But the chemistry is passion. That's what it is. We're not talking an emotional connection. We're talking chemistry, meaning like, again, that's the passion. So again, here for a good time, not a long time, is what you were feeling. Even though this person was trying to portray it like, no, I'm dating you or I'm going to date you. But again, having somebody else in that space, the relationship never got off the ground. It's like, and they were like trying to create the illusion like it was, and that, there weren't outside influences, and that that this person wasn't making up their own mind because they wanted you to come through and do all the work so that they didn't have to be vulnerable, so that they didn't have to, again, like expose their feelings. And you got tired of the manipulation. That's why you were like, I'm calling your bluff. Calling your bluff because, again, you have someone that you're still attached to. Even if you don't love that person, guilt is an attachment. A person shouldn't be allowed, I mean, shouldn't be able to guilt. A person can only guilt when we know that we did something wrong. So, again, that past person has a lot of ammunition because your person never really wanted to be with them either. And it's because they don't take the time to cultivate the actual relationship. And then the first thing that goes is intimacy, which is trust. So this person then goes out and like that is addicted to that spark, is addicted to that chemistry. So goes out and gets their ego fed and it feels good, and then they're on to the next because that doesn't last long. It's really staying in a low vibration. And then you just felt like I left because it was like the same thing over and over and over again, where this person didn't need to tell me after a while. They like, I got it. Like maybe you didn't want to admit it in the beginning, but I feel like you were like, no, I got the message. And once I got the message, I just detached. And like I said, this person never expected you to detach. They never, I got them here. They never expected you to, be able to do that. And now, where you are, it's like, again, you're ascending life. Like you wanted to let go of like who you were again, and that's really due to the past. So getting together with this person or staying connected to this person when you, again, like they were keeping you in a place of not feeling good, feeling not worthy. So like I said, ascending life means like you went on to give your own put energies into yourself so you could release like the past, because you really can't release the past until you like create something new. So I don't really feel like this is something that you wanted to do. I feel like there was a lot of feelings and there was a lot of passion and chemistry. That's again what this person was connected to for as long as they're connected to it and still are connected to it because they're impatient and finally realizing, wait, you're not coming back. So it's again, they're getting uncomfortable. And so it's because they know that you're gonna be leaving them behind. It's like because you just detached, where this person has time, like all this time has been procrastinating and lying to themselves. So, like I said, where you're ascending life, and that happens when you also like drop people out of your life that are not on your vibration. And I feel like there's part of you that knows that your destiny is calling and that this person would just be dead weight because they would want you to pour into them when meanwhile you have to again be strong and to be able to create what you're creating for your own life, to be able to be self-sufficient for yourself. Because this person isn't coming in taking care of you. You have to take care of yourself. And so, you know, and in order to have a good life, you have to, you know, put the energy into your own life. This person wants you to do for them. And what they're realizing is that you're not going to do it. It's like you're like, no, you're living authentically and boldly and unafraid to be yourself. Like you went from kind of waiting for this person to come back to realizing that they weren't coming back, even though you left, you detached from this person. There was a part of you that still wanted this person to come back. This person again, and you have a very strong spiritual connection. That's why they're impatient now. That's why they're looking and seeing time is like run out, that time is like of the essence, that they wasted a lot of time. And so now you went from that place to like kind of getting angry because it's almost like you crapped all over this connection. You shit all over this connection where it's like it was a divine connection. So it hurt. It hurt a lot. It hurts this person a lot. They're in a lot of pain. They're really uncomfortable, but you were in a lot of pain that during this time that you were kind of waiting for this person. But you went from one like way to living like quietly and humble to being like, you know what? I'm gonna live loud. I'm gonna live unapologetically, boldly, and myself. I'm not going to like try and bend to what you want anymore. It's like you were playing games, and I actually did try to accommodate you, not to the extent that you wanted me to. You wanted me to like completely abandon my life and just give you whatever, where you didn't need to give me anything. However, I did try to accommodate you to a fault, to a fault of my own needs. So now I'm unapologetically going to be myself and live my own life very boldly. But part of that is because you're angry, you're still hurt. So that's where you are now with it. Let's see where this person is. We are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this trust. It's the truth. So again, times run out, but they realize it's again about the spiritual connection, but they also know that you're like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You didn't show up for me. You played games to a fault. You held back just to be spiteful. It's like, when meanwhile you weren't really telling me one way or the other. You gave me absolutely nothing to work with. Our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our heart. So this is the past life karmic mate. So in this picture, they look all lovey-dovey, but understand to become unconditional love and clearing those programs would be past life karmic programs, and those that also is inner child wounds. So this person, like I said, not being on your vibration, like, and not coming through for you was extremely painful. It's like you didn't want to walk away from this. This person made you walk away from this, and understand now they're feeling that pain. And so part of them clearing the programming is to understand, why did I do this? Like, they got so caught up in the game and of protecting themselves that it became a game, I should say. And you, like, why did you attract this person into your life? Why such a deep connection, but they wouldn't let you in? What's the spiritual lesson like to feel, and why would you have to feel that kind of pain? So Spirit's saying, like, you both come to a place within your evolution that it's all about becoming unconditional love, and there's too many spiritual blocks, childhood wounds, there's too many like blockages that are preventing you from manifesting financial abundance, from manifesting healthy relationships. I feel like for you, it's financial abundance. For this person, it's relationships. However, you're like, well, I'm connected to them and I haven't had a good relationship. And for some of you, it's all straight across the board. It's a second chakra imbalance, and where both parties have it. And it's again where it's our identity, it's who we perceive we are, it's that emotional center, it's the second chakra, like I said, the birthing center. And what we see is when we have trouble birthing situations like financial abundance or financial stability, or again a healthy relationship, well, we know that it's in that center. And so Spirit's saying that it's like, how do you heal? You have to heal through awareness of what comes to you in your life, and vice versa. This person learns from, again, what transpired. We learn through pain. We learn through pain and suffering. A lot of times that's what a karmic mate it is. It's like creating awareness, but we wouldn't stick around long enough unless there was this element of unconditional love. So this person, again, their natural state is unconditional love, and so is yours. The shadow parts of ourselves are the parts of ourselves that we've detached from, that we've disassociated from, that we've rejected. So Spirit's saying, yeah, that's right. I brought you and this person together to, again, be mirrors of what needs to be healed. Like, I don't have the same wound. Spirit says you have a second chakra imbalance. You're getting triggered by what they do. There is love. So understand, it's you have to, again, part of clearing the heart will allow you to give and receive of love through your free will, through whatever you choose. And by choosing, you meaning you become what you want to do, what you want to give to the world. So there's an essence of not being able to do that fully because, again, of the childhood wounds. So again, the connection is for that. One of us is sad or angry, and it's creating an energetic match and frequency with the other. So again, you're angry at this person, and this person can feel it. So the part in them procrastinating is the fact that they know that what they've done, it's almost like they self-sabotage themselves. But understand, you're looking at it like, no, you rejected me. Weren't there for me. You didn't treat me well, when really this person didn't treat themselves well. They didn't show up for themselves. They didn't believe that they were deserving of love. That's why you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. And so understand, you're angry where this person is angry too, but they're more angry at themselves. But this is the awareness. Again, this is what the healing is about. I care about you even when I act like I don't. I'm hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. That's what I said earlier. that this person didn't let you in. I can't show you my feelings. I can't really be transparent because you might use it against me. So you're always the one that has to give. So, but again, Spirit says that's obviously not the way to be in a relationship. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Like they can't create a healthy relationship. They create toxic relationships, or they create abandonment, continuously people leaving their life because no one wants to sit there and prove to them. The only person that is going to do that is a person on a low vibration. What we are experiencing is a part of a larger collective clearing. Don't feel alone because others are healing too. So again, we're in spiritual times right now. And so again, part of being able to raise the vibration on the planet is to, again, become aware of these shadows, is so that we can, again, integrate them, clear them by transmuting them. So again, it is happening because we're in spiritual times. There's a spiritual war happening right now, the war on consciousness. And your level of consciousness needs to be in alignment with unconditional love to get through that war. Otherwise, you need to actually rise above the low vibration. And the way that we do that is we elevate our consciousness. And when the world does that, well, then we can actually create heaven on earth. But right now, we're again going through this spiritual war. So again, in order to heal, you have to, again, clear the effects of your trauma. You have to integrate the spiritual lessons in order for you to become whole, because you actually are whole. However, the shadows are parts that you've detached, and the behaviorisms are the ones that this person created as survival, but like long time ago. But now it's creating blockages in their relationships. And that's really what happens when we again grow up in an environment that was not safe or stable, or even if you were in a relationship for any amount of time that was very abusive, it changes you, and it changes you because you form habits and behaviorisms to protect your psyche, to protect yourself spiritually and emotionally. But again, it's not going to set us up for success in life. I don't feel deserving, and it's affecting my levels of abundance and openness. And that's what Spirit's saying. That's the whole point of this connection, that it was not really to bring you two together. What it's really to do is to create awareness of the things that needed healing. And that's what it did for this person, because you called their bluff. You detached. And in that, it made this person do a deep dive. However, here you are, and you're like, well, that's just great because now you just, you were supposed to be there. You were supposed to be able to love me. You were supposed to be able to care about me, like the chemistry that we had. And you just, again, cropped all over the situation. So the pain of it, the trigger of it, what were you supposed to learn? We're going to pick 6 from the inner child wound cards. Let's see what they are. Lies and secrets. Discipline. Friendship. Security and safety. Unworthy. Belittled. Well, again, we could see why you attracted this person. This person, again, these are your inner child cards. These, again, when you were the child self. And the child self needs to be nurtured, needs to be loved, needs to be made feel secure emotionally, needs to be encouraged, needs to be, shown. how to be. And I feel like you grew up in a very imbalanced environment where, you know, parents was a very codependent relationship. And in that, and codependent usually is where one person's doing all the work and the other person isn't. So the one person that's doing all the work is very angry, and they don't never get emotionally what they need. And so because they never get emotionally what they need, they're again can't emotionally give you what you need. And then your mother or father that was the one that was getting their needs met, they were not emotionally intelligent. They don't know how to emotionally give. So again, you didn't get from that parent either. It didn't mean that they didn't love you psychically. You knew that your parents loved you, but the way that you needed for them to be there, they weren't. They were angry because they were in a codependent relationship, and codependent relationships over time it feel are very toxic. One person is emotionally not getting what they need, and the other person feels like they need to give up their life. They don't really want to be in the connection. They don't want to be attached because, again, how they see it is a person's nagging, is telling them what to do, is telling them they don't have just a need or a desire to build that emotional intimacy, which is what we saw with this person that's connected to you. However, growing up in an environment that was also abusive emotionally, so the security and safety, you didn't feel safe. And so it didn't just happen there, but it also happened within friendships. So believing that you were not lovable because, again, trying to create those emotional bonds where the first recollection of a person that was supposed to be able to do it wasn't able to do it. The one parent had an anxious attachment and the other had avoidant attachment. So you had one person that was very clingy and emotionally needy, and the other person that was checked out all the time. And so in that imbalance, you didn't get what you needed. It was very toxic. So again, what you was familiar to you was to overgive, to overdo, to overlove in order to get love. Because again, it wasn't just freely given. It was almost like you were ignored. So like you did that within friendships, but then you taught your friends to become frenemies. They weren't really friends because they didn't respect you. And so the trauma came from being made to feel unworthy of love. And then when needed, again, validation of someone loving or caring, you didn't get that. You got belittled. And you got belittled because you had parents that were angry. So they projected a lot of their anger. And then the friendships that you tried to create, where again, they would also try and treat you almost as if you were beneath them. And here it was that you were overgiving and overdoing for these people, and they were acting as if they're doing you a favor. So again, this feeling of unworthiness, keeping you stuck in a place of feeling unworthy, all because here it is, you're overgiving, overdoing, overloving, and abandoning your own needs and showing those people that you don't respect yourself, you respect them more than you respect you. So what it is then no one pays attention to how you feel because you don't set that mark. And so Spirit says, so there was a lack of disciplining yourself and disciplining yourself because our parents need to encourage us to discipline ourselves, to tell us what the rewards are when we're young. To discipline, it's not always to do it in a harsh manner. It's to teach a person to be consistent. So when a child doesn't get that nurturing and they don't feel supported and they're too busy trying to be liked and trying to be loved, well, they're not creating themselves. They're not disciplined enough because they don't feel good. That's a root chakra imbalance. And so, again, their emotions are dictating their life and the highs and the lows. And what happens when we are emotionally imbalanced, then a lot of times we either eat too much or do something too much to try to create the balance in our life. And it's a lot of wasted time. We're living from our lower energies, not by finding ourselves, creating ourselves, investing in ourselves. The illusion is that the answer is outside of ourselves, which, by the way, if we think that the answer is outside of ourselves, we will stay in a place of unworthiness because the answer is inside of ourselves to create ourselves. So you didn't really know what you wanted to do, what you wanted to go, and nothing was really inspiring to be disciplined. So part of this was also Spirit saying you have to create your life in the fact that you haven't created enough of your life. And that's by seeing yourself differently. And we can do that by joining things and finding who we are, having a love affair with ourselves. And again, knowing what your soul's purpose is. Again, join my shadow healing coaching program. It's again, if you don't know and you're like, want to know, everybody has a purpose. We're not here by mistake. We're here by the universe's design. And when we are really doing what we're called to do, we get our daily bread, we get our money. The universe is abundant. Where we're living out of balance because, again, we feel like there's something off with us, something missing. Spirit says there's nothing missing. Those are shadows. You have to, again, take time to nurture and love yourself. You have to reparent yourself because you feel unworthy still. It's, again, you have to create the security and the safety yourself. Be a friend to yourself and create the security and safety by becoming yourself. That's the only antidote to get over someone that had belittled you. And again, someone that made lies. The lies and the secrecy is the secrecy about the imbalances in the home, and the lies is that the issue is that you need to become something that you're not in order to feel safe, that you have to give your energy in order to feel safe. Spirit says no. You have to become yourself to become safe. And while becoming yourself, you will connect to the people that are supposed to be in your life, that have family in your life, instead of trying to make people that are, they're not worthy of being in your life, and that because they're not on your vibration. So instead of trying to make someone become something, it's again, yes, we have chemistry, but we don't have to make anyone do anything. That it should be an easy process. And it is an easy process when you are, again, creating the security and the safety for yourself by creating yourself. Like I said, then you have the foundation to be able to draw abundance into your life. This person was just came into your life to show you what needed to be healed. And what needed to be healed, I believe, was things to help you with your career, to help you become yourself, to again help you along on your soul's purpose, even if it's not on your soul's purpose, but to make money towards supporting yourself so that you can again feel so secure to find your soul's purpose. So Spirit ends us off with here and now. The future does not exist and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again because here now there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. So Spirit says part of the trauma of, again, not feeling safe is to try to create safety in the future where Spirit says you only have the now. You only have in the now. So only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition, inner knowing. So to be present in the here and now, because that means don't reflect back on what this person did, how they did it. We learn and we integrate the spiritual lesson so that you don't ruminate, so that you're not bringing that toxic energy into the future, that you again take care of what you need to do spiritual wise. And that is to understand why you attracted this person. And then, like I said, embody what needs to be healed to create the security, create the safety for yourself. That one that's going to make you not feel unworthy. And again, and then you will see that you won't have to hide or live a lie or lie about yourself, that you'll be secure in who you are and you'll be able to attract what you're supposed to attract. So again, when we go through trauma of not feeling safe, it's very common to bring, those traumas into the present moment. So to train yourself to be in the present moment, you might want to do yoga, you might want to do breath work, practice mindful meditation, and over about 2 to 3 months, if you do it consistently, you will have reconditioned your mind. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.